Hello everybody, welcome. My name is Chef Rob. Thank you to the Mastic Merchants Public Library for having me. Hello Demi, hello everybody else out there. Perfect night for a little cooking program, right? So who doesn't love mac and cheese and sloppy joes? Perfect comfort food for during the winter, right? So everybody, if you have any questions, my son Chris is here. He will be answering, tell me what questions we have, any comments, so please feel free. And I will give you my lineup for the week, where I will be and what I will be doing as well. Okay, first thing I have to do, those sloppy joes, I have to get the ground beef into the pot, let that start cooking. So I am going to put in about 1.5 pounds of ground beef, using the 88% lean, okay? So I'm just going to kind of break this up and spread this throughout. And then I'm going to put in 1 large onion, just chop it up and cook it in here with the ground beef. Okay, sloppy joes goes back to my childhood. I always had sloppy joes. All right, the ground beef, we want to make sure we do fully cook that all the way through, okay? 165 we want to cook through too. Yes, Chris?
Jessica said I'm definitely making this.
Good. That sounds absolutely great. So now we're gonna, I gotta throw the onion in here. 1 large onion, and then we'll move over to the baked fusilli mac and cheese. Gonna use 3 different cheeses, and you could always switch them up. Use the ones that you really like. If you're using a combination of the cheeses, really, really good. They're all creamy cheeses, and we will show you that in 1 second. The onions, just always make sure they're nice and firm on the outside. Means they're nice and fresh. And then we're just gonna chop this just like that, turn it, and then just kind of rock the knife. I'm going to cook this beef on a medium to medium high heat. That way we get it cooked through. And this is actually going to go into a slow cooker. Can you do it on a regular pot and you cook it, in about an hour, 45 minutes? Absolutely. But the slow cooker will just keep bringing those flavors out because it'll be cooking for the 4 to 6 hours. Okay. And we'll just come back from time to time to make sure that it's getting fully cooked through. Okay. Okay, so we can come on over to the baked 3-cheese fusilli. Okay, and it's going to have toasted crumbs on it. I try to use mostly like a day-old type bread, French bread. And try to use where there's not much of a crust on it too. Okay, we're just going to cut up about what's considered about 1/2 loaf. I'm using like a little ciabatta bread. And I'm just going to throw this into my Cuisinart. And we're going to be pulsing this. We want to pulse it till it has nice large pea-size crumbs. So it's kind of like a nice hearty, rustic type of look. Yes, Chris?
Jessica X, can you put raw meat into the slow cooker with all the ingredients?
Well, I know people do it. I'm not a fan of it because slow cooker takes a long time to get it cooked all the way through. I know there's nothing like throwing one thing in a pot, but what happens is that meat gets such bacteria by just slow cooking it. I like to kind of cook that off and then just let all the vegetables and the spices all kind of bring that flavor out, okay? Like I said, it is done, but it's not something that I really prefer doing. So, got it in this Cuisinart here. I'm going to put this on here. And I'm just going to pulse this till it's nice, coarse crumbs. Getting jammed up with the bread. Just gotta move this around. Maybe take a little bit out. Move that around. Okay. No good, Chris, huh?
Guess not.
It might just need to be freed up at the bottom. And there we go. The piece is a little too big. What'll happen is it kind of gets caught under the blade and it makes the blade stop. So it happens. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave this. They're a little larger than I like, so what I'm gonna do is just put them on my cutting board and just kind of give them a little bit of a rough chop. In the meantime, I am gonna take my burner. I'm gonna put in some butter into here. And then we're gonna toast these crumbs up really, really good. Okay, just melt this down, and then we just kind of toss it with a spatula here. Now when you're boiling your fusilli pasta, always, or whatever pasta you may choose to use, always make sure that the pasta is a little, still a little firm, okay? Because you're going to finish off baking it in the oven, and it's going to finish cooking that way. Just going right back over here. Keep an eye on here. Love the Mastic Mauritius Library. I was there the other day. Debbie, you're never there when I'm there. Never there. I was there for the children. Had to drop something off. But I looked over to see if you were there. You weren't there. Okay. So let's just melt this butter down. Half tablespoon to a tablespoon of butter. I'm going to give this one. Take this out. Chris, you be careful of that blade.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to put all these crumbs right here. And now, you kind of want them mostly something like this size. That's a perfect size. So any of these big crumbs right here, I'm just going to kind of give it a rough chop. Like I said, they can get caught under your blade and just make it stop. So my butter is melting. We're going to put these in the pan and just get them nice and toasted. Okay, put that in there. I'm going to work this butter around here. And these will take about 5 to 10 minutes. So we have two things going now. I'm going to go over a little bit about the pasta. When you do boil the pasta, reserve about a cup of the water, okay? Because that will give it a nice flavor and it will thin out the sauce so it comes out a really nice, consistent sauce, okay? Have a little rubber spatula here, just like this, okay? And then we're going to also season this with a little bit of salt and pepper, kosher salt, a little bit of black pepper. So we'll get these nice and toasted. In the meantime, I'll let everybody know what we're doing tomorrow night. Tomorrow night on Zoom at the Taft Public Library in Massachusetts. So you can go to that library, you can get their Zoom info. I'm going to do a stuffed pork tenderloin with a spinach, mozzarella, and sun-dried tomatoes. And a little something else on the side, as usual. So I am just going to keep on this here. Never want to have any pink left in it, whether you make it for tacos, a meat sauce, anything like that. Always make sure it's finished and then add in your sauces to this. So while the breadcrumbs are cooking and the meat is, I'm going to go over what we are going to put into the sloppy joes. I'm going to put in 3 cloves of the fresh garlic. Fresh garlic here. I'm just going to smash this up. And then you have your vegetables all ready to put right in the slow cooker. And then we're going to put in about 1 cup of fresh celery chopped. If you like it nice and hearty, you can cut it big. If you like it on the smaller side, you do it that way. But it will be nice and tender, cooking it 4 to 6 hours. About 1 cup of celery is typically about 2 to 3 stalks, okay? So kind of go by like, do you like celery? Do you not like celery? Do you want more vegetables in here? Now, this slow cooker recipe has so much flavor going throughout it between the different seasonings and then the fire roasted tomatoes. Fire roasted tomatoes are so good in sauces and chilies. I did a buffalo chicken stew last year with fire roasted tomatoes. That was at the library in person. We did that for the Super Bowl. Any questions, Chris?
Nope, don't see any.
Okay. So that will be about the 1 cup right there. Keep right on this here. You got to multitask when you're doing a lot of things with the burners. And now we're going to go back over to the breadcrumbs. So if you can kind of see, they're getting a nice little sizzle on it. Nice little coating. And this on top of the mac and cheese, really, really good. I wouldn't cut them much smaller because I like these nice big chunks right on top. Some people don't like crumbs on top of mac and cheese. You like it on top, Chris?
Nope.
You don't? Ah, more for me.
I'll eat the bottom.
You'll eat the bottom. Everybody, on Wednesday at 5 o'clock at the Nyack Public Library, I am making a Parmesan crusted quesadilla with tomato, basil, and mozzarella cheese. And it's on their Zoom. So if you wanted to see that, just contact that library, the Nyack Public Library. Okay. Another minute or two. They'll be ready. Back on over here. And then what's good about this, we put this in the slow cooker, add so many different ingredients to make those flavors really come together. I made a very small batch earlier just to show you how it will come out at the very end after it cooks for that long of a time. Okay, I will show you that soon. And then what I do with these crumbs is I just leave these on the side. Okay. Second, back over here, Chris. You getting all the people out there dizzy? Okay. So next Saturday is our big event that we're doing on Facebook. It's at 3 o'clock. You can go to my Facebook page or many libraries. And we are doing 3 different dishes, and that starts at 3 o'clock. And we will put the recipes on my Facebook page, which is Simply Creative Chef Rob, and you will see that soon. We'll get that up in a day or so, Chris, right?
Yes.
All right, this is getting cooked all the way through. Gonna just keep that on low. I'm taking my crumbs off right now, and I'm gonna leave this to the side. I have another little skillet right here. Okay. Yes, Chris?
Susan said, can't wait for Saturday. Have to food shop for the ingredients.
Do you have the ingredient? Do you have the list, Susan? Did you get it from one of the libraries around? I know you know how to get them.
Sue X, where can we get the recipes for tonight's yummy dishes?
They should be on the Mastic Shirley Public Library's Facebook page or website, okay? I know I sent them a while ago to Debbie. I'm not sure if Debbie's watching tonight. So if not, I will send them out again and they will be posted up there, okay? So I am going to add in this empty skillet here, nothing on here. 2 tablespoons of melted butter. Okay.
She said thank you.
Sure, absolutely. Very slowly, I am just going to take in about a 1/4 cup of flour. Now this would be called a roux if you were thickening a soup, okay? I want to put this on low. And then we're going to make a cream sauce with this. If you start seeing that it's getting away from you, when I mean getting away from you, meaning starting to maybe brown, you don't want it to brown. Okay, just take it off the burner and just go like this. Okay.
Susan said, I have the recipes. Not sure which library I got them from.
Okay, Susan is just good. That's all it's about that. Susan is good. 1 teaspoon of mustard powder will go into this. And then just a pinch of cayenne. Okay, if you like a little spice, of course, you can add more. And now I am just going to whisk this just a minute. So just get it a little bit golden. And then we will add in 1.5 cups of milk. Try to use either like a whole milk or a half and half. But you do need the full, not a 1%, 2%. Okay, this really matters. Okay, while I'm watching this, I'm going to grate the cheese. The 3 cheeses that I'm putting in here is a sharp cheddar cheese, a Fontina cheese, and a Gruyere cheese. Okay? Like I said, if you only want to put 2 of them, mix it up. Just make sure you have the right amount because it really will make that sauce really good. I'm using 4 ounces of Fontina, 4 ounces of Gruyere, and 8 ounces of the sharp cheddar cheese. If you want to go on to an extra sharp cheddar cheese, that certainly would be great. The extra sharp cheddar cheese has the most flavor. Okay. So I am going to add in the milk now. And then this will start to thicken. This is going to be my sauce that's going to coat the mac and cheese. Okay, and now I'm going to bring this up a few minutes. I'm going to let this cook for about 7 minutes. That way it will start to thicken. And while that is cooking, I am just going to grate my cheese. Okay, I got a box grater here, so I'm going to take this. You can use yellow or the white cheese. What's the difference between white or the yellow? The color. Okay, the taste is exactly the same. So I am just going to grate this. I hope everybody at the Mastic Merchants Library is doing well, staying safe. Happy and healthy New Year. This is our first class since the New Year. If you're a snow lover, it hasn't been your year, has it? December was okay for you, right? But at least we can get outdoors and go for a walk right now. Okay, so just grate this, and what we do is we just leave this on the side. Okay, good amount of cheese goes in here, but cheese will make it taste really, really good. Just try to work those little lumps out of there, okay? You don't have to have the yellow if you don't want. It just really will color it. That's really it. So now that is looking good, nice and smooth. On a low heat, because you don't want to burn it. You burn that and it sticks to the burner. What's going to happen is that taste is going to be off. So I am just, while this is cooking, I'm getting nice and thick. Look at that get thick. I'm just going to take off this crock pot. Brand new crock pot. Had it a little while, just hadn't gotten around to using this one. Had one many years ago. But, you know, being on the road, always cooking for all the different libraries, I really didn't get to use a crock pot because I'd be gone too many hours. It would have overcooked. Okay. So, I'm just going to slowly cook this, the sauce. Let me take all of the ground beef. I'm going to actually try to get a little of that excess grease out of it. Okay, there's not much there, but whatever we can spare on ourselves, we want to be really, really good. A lot of people like the crock pot because you throw everything in there and you come home from work and dinner is waiting for you. Okay, let's get back to our ground beef with the onions in here. I'm going to add in the celery and the onions now. Remember, this is going to cook 4 to 6 hours. Chris, did I tell you we were having dinner at midnight?
Yeah, okay. That'll be my midnight snack.
Yeah. If it was New Year's, it would have been perfect, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then what we want to add is 1 14-ounce can of fire-roasted tomatoes. Okay, fire-roasted tomatoes are really, really good. Using this brand right here, Hunt's. There is one out there, Muir Glen, that I've used before. I actually had somebody that was on my class the other day that said recently they felt like they were a little waterier, but they were always very, very good, very, very consistent. So I have the 14-ounce can. I have a little bit left from my one before, so I am still going to put that in here.
Debbie said, just use my crock pot today for cauliflower. Cauliflower mac and cheese.
Cauliflower mac and cheese. That sounds great, Debbie. We can swap foods here, huh? What do you think? Yes, Chris?
Sue asks, do you ever use the bags they put in crock pots?
I haven't. It has been many years since I've done the crock pots just because being out of the house almost every single day, going from library to library. It's the only reason. So I'm going to add in about a 1/2 cup of chili sauce. Chili sauce, very mild. Okay, just going to put that right in here. And then about a 1/4 cup of ketchup. Whoop. Just a little bit more. Okay.
Debbie said anytime, I'd love to swap.
A 1/4 cup of brown sugar. With the spices and then the fire roasted tomatoes, the brown sugar gives it a nice balance in there, okay? So 1/4 cup of the brown sugar. If you ever have very hard brown sugar, just take it, put it into the oven in a 200-degree oven, and what that will do is just really loosen it up, and you could use it right away then. I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard, and then about a 1/2 tablespoon of the Worcestershire sauce, or Worcestershire. Everybody says it's different. I want a 1/4 teaspoon, just a little bit of the dry mustard. A 1/2 teaspoon of a mild chili powder. This gives it like a nice smoky taste in here. A 1/2 teaspoon of dry mustard, tablespoon. And then a 1/2 tablespoon of the cumin, also gives it a nice smoky flavor in here. Just a pinch of the garlic powder.
Rena asks, what would happen to the taste if we left out the sugar or reduced the sugar?
It just gives it a little more sweetness, the sugar. So if you want, you could just put like 1 tablespoon in there just to kind of offset it a little bit. But some people have health issues that they want to cut back on the sugar, no sugar. You leave it out and you just get more of the spices flavor, okay? So it's a little more intense that way. That is all though. So we're up to the garlic powder. I just need a little bit of paprika. Paprika, about a 1/4 teaspoon. And then we just need a little bit of fresh ground black pepper and kosher salt. About a 1/4 teaspoon of the kosher salt. And a few grinds of fresh ground black pepper. And then we could just take that wooden spoon, just kind of mix this up really good. And I'm going to turn this on a medium heat and let this cook. So you can see it has nice chunkiness to it, the nice fire roasted tomatoes. And we're just going to let this cook 4 to 6 hours.
Cat X, what's the difference between dry mustard and the Dijon mustard? Why isn't one mustard enough?
They are two totally different flavors. The Dijon mustard, more intense, immediate flavor. The dry mustard will just keep coming out as you cook it in the slow cooker. Dry mustard used in a lot of Asian cooking. If it says dry mustard, you want dry mustard. If it says Dijon prepared mustard, that's what you want. Always follow the recipe on that. Okay, but you want that nice balance. I am just going to go back. This is going to start cooking now. Get nice and hot. This is nice and thick, and you're probably saying, that's a little too thick. Well, we still have to add cheese, and then we thin it out with our pasta water. Okay, that has a lot of starch, salt in there. Always salt your water for the pasta, too.
Cat said thanks.
You're welcome. So I am just going to start grating the fontina cheese. The fontina cheese is a cow's milk. It was first produced in Italy, and now it's worldwide. It's like a very rich cream, sweet, and it almost has like a roasted nut type of flavor. But it melts really good in like a mac and cheese or cheese sauce.
Susan X, what temperature for the slow cooker?
A medium heat. Medium heat I think is good. Yeah, that would be fine. So I have my 3 cheeses right here. Okay. I'm going to add this cheese in here. Now it's a lot of cheese, but then we start thinning it out with the pasta water. And you put in about 1 cup, but you slowly kind of put it in until it's that right, nice, creamy texture that you would want for a mac and cheese. I have my FUSILLI all cooked already. And hopefully we get back in that library someday, Debbie, right? I know you want it. I know you like those leftovers, those little treats at the end of the night. Kind of get you through that 8 to 9 o'clock area when I'm just about packing up and leaving for the day, right? I'm going to give everybody another thing that I'm doing. It's Thursday night and it's on Zoom. It's at the Taft Public Library again. Yes, we're doing 2 there this week. And we are doing a chocolate chip cookie pizza. Okay, so it's a really large chocolate chip cookie served like a pizza. I just need a little bit more of this. Just want to have a nice consistency. And you're going to just kind of put a little salt and pepper in with this as well. And you bake this in a 350 oven for about 25 minutes. Okay. It should be about an 8 by 8 kind of a glass pan, something like that. If you feel like you have a little too much, you just make a little mini pan as well. Okay. Let's check this here, Chris. How's that looking? Starting to cook. Good. Yep. Yep. Okay. So what I'm going to do to make this really nice and easy, I am going to take this cheese sauce and it is the right consistency right now. I'm going to put this in a bowl. Okay, it's a little thicker in the middle and then the sides a little watery, so I'll be able to kind of mix this a little better. Okay, now whisk this up really, really well and just kind of check that consistency. If it seems like it's too thick, too thin, I'm just going to kind of layer that. You kind of see it drip just like that. When you bake it, it's just going to bake right into the FUSILLI really, really well. I want to take my pan and I want to give it just a little bit of spray. This way it doesn't stick and it's easier to clean later on. Quick spray just like that. This is about a 9-inch pan, but it will be fine. And now I'm just going to slowly add in my pasta into the sauce. Make sure I got the right amount of pasta to the right amount of sauce. I know you've all eaten mac and cheese before, and I know you've probably made it before, so you will know the right consistency. Oh, this is perfect. So a 1/2 pound of the fusilli pasta. Look at all that cheese right there. You do want to definitely season it with a pinch of salt and fresh ground black pepper. Just like that. Mix this up really good. And then we put our crumbs right on top of here. This with some like sloppy joes on a roll, just absolutely perfect. Yeah, this will work. You never want to you want to make sure it doesn't overflow, but that is absolutely perfect. Now we will put those crumbs right on top. Okay, and then slowly these are cooled now, so we can just kind of go just like this. You could always just spread a little bit of butter on the pan if you like. After this comes out of the oven, just let it sit for about 10 minutes so it really just kind of comes together, okay? But making the homemade crumbs really does make this really, really well. I try to do it mostly without the crust. I seem to get a better consistency right on top. Okay, so let me hold this one up here so everybody can see what it looks like. This is our fusilli mac and cheese with 3 different cheeses. Again, you can rotate whatever cheeses you like or just stick with the traditional cheddar cheese for it. It's really, really good. Just want to go back to the slow cooker, give it a little stir, let everybody wants to see what it's doing in there. Starting to get hot. Don't burn yourself, Chris. I like it with the vegetables in there. The vegetables in there just give it a little heartiness with the onions and the celery in there. You want to add carrots to it. Carrots would be great as well. Now with the sloppy joes, when I was growing up, we used to put it on a hamburger roll. That was exactly how we would do it. Nowadays, a little fancier bread, a little ciabatta roll, something like that. Any way you want to do it, it'd be good. So I made this one earlier. If you can see how it really cooked down compared to this one right here, okay, which still needs cooking. Okay, it really reduces down. The tomatoes and the spices really come out in it. So I am just going to take this. Is this mine or yours, Chris?
That'll be mine.
I thought you were going to wait till midnight and I'll eat now.
Who said I can't have both?
Just like that. And you could serve some chips with this. Chips, fries. The other day we did an air fryer class and we did fried pickles with the panko. They would be perfect on the side of here.
Mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese with this. And with that day we did air fried buttermilk chicken, Parmesan chicken, right?
Yes.
That was good. So this is what it looks like. Here is our mac and cheese here. And then I'm going to show you what Chris and I were doing earlier today. Okay, you want to film that, Chris? So everybody, each year, I live on Long Island here. I know a lot of you patrons are from Long Island, but some of you are from out of state, I know. We have a strawberry festival out in Manitowoc every year on Father's Day weekend. So, you know, whether we'll have it this year, don't know. Hopefully we will. Be an outdoor event. Hopefully we're going to be getting better by then. And so I made a strawberry bread. Today it's for YouTube, and it'll be out in June. So I'm doing a strawberry festival bread with a vanilla glaze. So I'm going to show everybody what it looks like. And we will do this as a live class as well, too. So it just has like some powdered sugar in here, and it has the vanilla extract and a little cream to make that glaze. Almond extract in here would be really, really good. Or toasted almonds right down here as well. So, well, maybe we'll do this for you, Debbie, right? Unless you want to come by in a few minutes here. Anybody, any questions out there, Chris?
Susan said that looks delicious.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you so much. And what's really good actually about this bread here is you can make these into little muffins too. Okay, so you can do it with, and then put the glaze on it, put the fresh strawberries on it. You could even put fresh blueberries on here, and it's starting to look a little like summer, right? We got to get into like March and that so we can really get outdoors and that. I remember when COVID started last year, Chris and I, we would be biking and playing tennis a lot in March and April and that, because for the most part, I think we did have decent weather. I know some people felt it was rainy, but I think it was because we were off and every day counted and really mattered. So this one here, the mac and cheese, this is going to go into the oven 350 for about 25 minutes because everything under here is very hot. These crumbs get nice and toasty. Just keep an eye on them that they don't get too dark, because if you want, you can always take a piece of aluminum foil and put it on the rack above, and the air will still get to it and make these really nice and golden on here. Okay, if you never want to make these type of crumbs and you just want to put like the panko breadcrumbs on here, or just a little bit of butter mixed in with it and just kind of put it on top, that would come out well and it would be nice and easy. The class that I'm doing on Saturday on my Facebook, okay, it's at 3 o'clock, and I am doing an Italian breadstick salad, which is a panzanella salad. Then I'm doing a grandma style spaghetti pie, perfect for the kids, the grandchildren, the adults will love it. Made it already this week. And then we are doing for National Pie Day next Saturday a crustless apple crumb pie. The crumbs on there, if you double the recipe on the crumbs, it's all good, okay? But make sure you double everything on it. So, any final questions out there, Chris?
Nope, don't see any.
No? Well, to the Mastic Merchants Public Library, thank you so much for having me. You guys are just absolutely great. From the minute I walk in there, the security guards are always helping me, telling me what to do. To the custodians always help me there. You guys are really, really great. And I know you're going to be getting new buildings around the area soon, and I know you're all ready for it and want that, and I look forward to cooking in your library again like that. So everybody stay well. I hope to see you tomorrow night at 7 o'clock at the Taft Public Library in Massachusetts. Again, it's on Zoom, so you got to contact them tomorrow, okay, when they open.
Susan said thank you, and Donna said thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night and stay well. Thank you. Bye-bye.